Hello, everybody. Eric here with a weekly update for April 13th through the 19th. See, checked the calendar ahead of time, so I didn't need to do it during the video. I seem to mention that every time I do it. I'm so proud of myself, apparently. This past week on the channel, I had reviews for The Unloved by John Saul and Chopping Spree by Angela Sylvain. Please check out those videos. The reading remembrances was July of 2006. I think there's some good stuff in there. What was Eric of the Past reading almost 20 years ago? Check out that video to find out. As far as reading, I started a new book bundle where I'm reading 5 short story collections in a row, not anthologies, short story collections. So single author, with an exception that you'll see in a moment. The first one I read was A Nest of Nightmares by Lisa Tuttle, which is also part of Valancourt Books' Paperbacks from Hell. So I kind of doubled up on that one. Then I read Terror, Horror, Agony by Judith Sonnet. And I am currently, although I haven't actually started it yet, but the book I'm reading is Deadlines by John Skipp and Craig Spector. This is where I say, an exception to the single author collection. Back in the day, John Skipp and Craig Spector wrote everything together. So it is a single entity collection. And this is actually, oddly enough, it's a novel and short story collection, in that there is not just a framing device, but it runs through the entire thing. Real quickly, I've mentioned this when I announced the bundle, but basically it's about a woman who moves into an apartment where the former occupant committed suicide. He was a writer. She finds a bunch of his short stories, and so as we're reading her story, every once in a while she will read one of this author's stories, and those stories are actually the short stories of John Skipp and Craig Spector. I read this back in the day when it first came out. I don't believe I've read it since. So I'm very happy to go back and reread it, and some people might call it a cheat, but it's part of the book bundle short story collections. That's pretty much it channel-wise and book-wise. I did order some new books because I got paid, but they're not arriving until tomorrow. So you won't see what they are. Well, if you're on my social media, you'll see them because I always take pictures and post them. But you won't see what they are until next week. But the big thing for me this week is work. First of all, it was a 4-day work week. Friday, the 18th, Good Friday, was a paid holiday. Unfortunately, I was 2 days short of my 90 days to get paid holidays. So it was not, I had the day off, not getting paid for it. But the big thing here, my manager, I don't actually know what her official title is, but my manager is taking 3 days off next week, or this week. It's next week as I'm recording. This week, if you're watching this the day the video goes up, in the past, if you're watching it much later than that. But anyway, taking 3 days off. So Tuesday, right before the end of the day, I found out that I was supposed to be taking on her responsibilities while she's gone. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. And so that only left Wednesday and Thursday, because it was a short work week, for me to learn what to do. And in that 16 hours of work, I had maybe between 4 and 6 hours of training. I have almost no idea what I'm doing. It's a lot of computer stuff. If it was just, here's the work, tell people to do it, I mean, that's easy, and make sure it's getting done. But everybody that works in our department is very hardworking. They're all good people, good workers, so that wouldn't be a problem. But there's this crazy, and I don't know how other bigger companies are. Norlake was a small company. We had 3 buildings. That was it. 50 employees, between 50 and 100 maybe. I don't know exactly what the employee count was. A lot of that was office people. I don't even think it could have been 50. That seems like an awful lot. But it wasn't that complicated keeping track of things. At Multilink, it's a lot of going on the computer and taking something from one location, putting it in another location within a single building. There are like 4 locations. A lot of emailing people to let them know that I've taken it from this location and put it in this location. And again, I'm not even talking physically doing that, just on the computer. I took notes. I don't know how good they are. There's so much stuff. Just emailing people. I have a list of the reasons I would email people and who I would be emailing. And for like a certain thing, I've got to send the email to like 3 people and then CC 3 more people. I have, as I said, almost no idea what I'm doing. I cannot wait for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday to be finished. Personally, I think, I don't know when this decision was made that I was going to be the person to do this, but I think I should have spent like a week shadowing my manager, after a day or 2, having her sit me down when something needed to be done on the computer and having me do it, but talking me through it, making sure I didn't miss anything. And she did say at one point, there's all these people I'm supposed to be talking to, emailing. I said, I don't know any of these people. She said, well, I'll take you around and introduce you. That never happened. So it's going to be an interesting 3 days when I go back to work on Monday. As far as the channel goes, Kaylee Dobbs of Happy Goat Horror, my YouTube bestie, tagged me in a booktube thing. So I'm going to be recording that video as soon as I finish this video. I'm not going to tell you what it is. It will go up on Tuesday. Now I do have to check the calendar. Tuesday will be the 22nd. Hopefully I will remember to post it. But again, I'm not going to tell you what it is. I'm going to let you be surprised on Tuesday. Fingers crossed. That's about it. Played some Switch. Just trying to get through Tomb Raider. Considered finally picking up Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3, which is the main reason I got the Switch, because I loved the first couple Marvel Ultimate Alliance games. I'm looking for a good Star Wars game. I have Lego Star Wars, the Skywalker Saga, but I'm looking for something a little more substantial. I was thinking Knights of the Old Republic, maybe. My nephew said he didn't like the combat in that, so I'm going to look into that before I spend any money. He did mention Force Unleashed. Battlefront, I think, is first-person shooter and also big open-world co-op stuff. I'm not a fan of that stuff, so I don't know that I'll get any Battlefront. If you have any suggestions, if you've played any of the Star Wars games that might be on the Nintendo Switch, let me know. Make some suggestions. I'm always open. And I think that's about it. This is a short video. Really nothing else going on. Haven't watched anything. Picked up a few comics at the comic shop. And, yeah. That's all I've got for my weekly wrap-up. I don't really have any questions. Except for, again, please suggest some Star Wars games. Why you think it's worth spending my hard-earned money on. Yeah, that's it. If you have any comments, questions, or corrections, please put those in the comments below. Comments are open for spoilers. Just post a spoiler warning. We try to be polite here on my channel. Please like, share, and subscribe. All the usual YouTube stuff. If you'd care to follow me on other social media, I'll have links for my Instagram and Bluesky in the description below. And that's all I've got for you this week. So until next week, read more books.